Good morning, everybody. We are off to work. I do have a couple clients after my regular building that I go to. So we got a few trips today. We did get an update. It's not I don't think it's an FSD update. It was a software update on Tuesday night, and I've had a couple glitches yesterday. A couple of lane selection issues, a couple of FSD glitches. So we're going to see what it does today. We are currently at 24 degrees. Oh, and we have somebody in the middle of the road. We had some really light, fluffy snow over the night time, so we are in standard. I'm gonna put it in hurry. It is 30 miles an hour on this road, and it wants to always go like 15 or 16 miles. I do not know why. It is a really bad bumpy road, so maybe it is picking that part of it up. Like I said, we're at 24 degrees. I've got 91% on the battery. I did charge last night. Did precondition this morning so the battery would be warm and the cabin would be warm. And 91%. I don't know, we're taking this way today, so I don't know. I keep forgetting to really check before I leave the navigation to see where it's planning on taking me. It just kind of does its own thing, so that's fine. Anyway, so I did charge to 95%. We've got 292 on the battery for 91%. Well, actually, we're down to 90. I did charge to 95 last night. I did precondition the cabin and the battery this morning, and it is a little on the colder side today, so we lost about 4%, 5 maybe, I guess if you count 90. And of course, I had to drive home from the supercharger too, so. Well, we're just kind of going a little bit a longer way. It looks like maybe they're taking us partially through, kind of through the city a little bit. It seems sometimes when we've had snow and things, it seems to want to take this flatter route versus the highway, which honestly, the highway, if there's going to be any issues, the highway would be the least likely to have issues, whereas downtown and some of the back roads and residential areas are going to have more ice and slippery spots. But we'll go with it this morning. I still will be early. And we can kind of see how it's going to be navigating with the new update. And let's just see how it does. I really don't mind the cold weather. I hate the snow, but even I'm getting a little kind of tired of the winter, so I'm, you know, each day we wake up, it's another day closer to spring, hopefully. So some of the irritations I've noticed with FSD even before this update, the software update, is that anything that has flashing lights or rotating lights, like city workers, snow plows, any kind of Department of Transportation type vehicle, it will slow down for that vehicle and stop, even if they're just kind of coming at us. Now we have an interesting scenario here. There's a car coming, or a truck, so this was handled nicely. It pulled over, exactly what I would have done, and I'll go back around. As you can tell, these roads are, they're snowy, they're wet. It's that fluffy snow. When cars get on it, it packs it down, and it actually makes it a very slippery surface. So the highway, choice-wise, as far as less slip and ice, it would be a better choice. So anyway, it will slow down, and sometimes it'll actually stop. Like if it's an oncoming thing, if they're going down one way and I'm coming up the street, it will actually stop or put on the brakes. So that's a little annoying. For pedestrians, or even if you're just, someone's just standing on the sidewalk, not even doing anything, they're standing there, it will come to a complete stop to allow them to cross, whether they wanted to cross or not. I had it happen at a crosswalk with an e-bike. They were just hanging out, waiting for cars to pass, and it hard stopped to let the person go. So those kind of behaviors need to be tweaked out a little bit, because it makes it a situation if you have cars behind you, like I've mentioned before. If they're not expecting you to really stop because there's nothing in the situation that will indicate to stop, and then all of a sudden the Cybertruck or FSD is suddenly, you know, stopping, then there could be a rear end potential. So not every pedestrian standing on a sidewalk looking across the street or just hanging out on a corner necessarily means it's going to cross. I don't know how you fix that bug, but it definitely is a bug. Alright, we're coming up to the school zone. It is 15. It reads it at 15. And we're going 28. Like that, I don't know if you could see that, but that kind of vehicle with the lights on, if it was coming down the street, it would have stopped for it, like it would have just in the middle of the street put on the brakes and stopped, or done some sort of jerky braking motion. So again, in the school zone, it recognized that it was 15. As a matter of fact, we still have it at 15, even though we've gone back up to 30. It will probably pick up this 30 here, but we're going 30 and a 15. Basically, the car thinks it's 15. The computer's telling the car it's 15, but we're going 30. And now we're at 30. It says 30 and we're going 32. I do have it in hurry, so we'll kind of see what it does. Like I've said in the past in all my some of my other videos, is that it has two behaviors. It has a behavior when we're in situations like this, residential, city, versus when we're on the highway. If we were on the highway at 30, we'd probably be going 15 to 20 miles over the speed limit. As you can tell right now, we're in a residential kind of city, rural, suburban type area, and we're at 32. And yes, I know there's snow on the road, but sometimes that doesn't seem to make too much of a difference. Oh, good. All right, let's just see if it does this. There is a, of course, we're going to be stopped, so it probably won't do that. But see this vehicle coming up here that has the yellow lights on? Those are the type of vehicles that it will stop or jerk brake on it. Alright, today we're not doing it. Of course, makes me a liar. Today it didn't do it. I don't know why. It's been doing it consistently. Maybe that was one of the updates on that software update, or maybe because we were going so slow, that vehicle was going so slow, it just read it differently. But those are the types of vehicles I'm talking about that it will take as an emergency vehicle, school bus, and it will stop. Or if it doesn't stop, it comes to a really, really quick halting slowdown. You can kind of hear the salt and the ice. And the thing is, I just had this wash. It's so funny. Every time I wash it, we get this kind of weather. I guess the moral of the story is I need to stop washing my vehicle. So we're going to be hitting 2 traffic circles. We've hit this road before. We've done this route before. It's been a little while. It is starting to get a little lighter in the morning, which is nice. It's not so dark, the complete ride anyway. Okay, we are at 45 on this particular stretch of the road. And again, we're still on hurry, so let's just see how it handles that and what it does as far as speed. Lane selection was doing really well up until this update, and I don't know if it just needs to kind of get back into the rhythm again, but I've had it after this update. Lane selection and positioning has regressed again. So the lane we're in right now will merge over to the left. It's not a big deal because we don't really have anybody on our left right now. It's not very crowded. This will be our first traffic circle. This will be 3/4 of the way around. One at 81 north, we would have taken that first right. 81 south is the exit off of the second traffic circle. Somebody in my comments suggested a wireless mic, so I did order one. We'll try it. Alright, so this is what I'm talking about right here. It was always picking the left-hand side yesterday, and like today, it picked this right-hand side. Not a big deal, still takes you right to the spot you want to go, but in order to turn into my work parking lot, I need to be on the left-hand side, which it is moving over, which is fine, not an issue right now because we don't have traffic. Where the issue would come in is in the afternoon when we have a lot of cars on this front street. It gets very busy. And then you're trying to merge over where you could have had the chance to be in the correct position, correct lane selection, and been with the flow of traffic and not have to kind of fight traffic and cars to get over to where you need. Now we're going to see where it parks. The past few times it's been parking in the spot that I personally like. The other day it did not. It parked more here towards the front, but there are other cars, so I do feel that cars and where they're parked and the amount of cars does influence where it's going to park. And I think it might be parking where I like. Let's see what it does. There's a lot of snow there normally, and oh, okay, we went off the road a little. Yeah, it doesn't like it. There's just a lot of snow here, and Alright, let's just manually do that. And the visibility, say, is bad, but it's not really. I can still see. So, gotta get this repositioned correctly, and it's gonna dump me in a snowbank over here. Actually, let's see. I might just pull forward. That's the thing with snow in parking lots. Most of these places do a really crappy job with plowing. So it does block a lot of the lines. Like, even I can barely see them. I think we're here. We probably need to get over a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we can kind of see. It's just so faint. I mean, they don't spend their money on lines or snow removal, that's for sure. So I think we got it. I think we're good. Yeah, we're pretty even. There's a line there and line there, so that wasn't too bad. Okay. All right, like I said, I've got a couple more drives coming up this afternoon, so we'll take those, and I'm not sure if any of the snow right now is going to stick, but I guess we'll find out when I leave this afternoon. All right, thanks for watching, and we will catch you on the next one. Okay, we are back. My other client canceled, so we are just going to head home and see my 5 o'clock client later, obviously today. So we'll be back out on the road. So let's see how it does heading home on FSD 14.2.2.4. We did get an update, not an FSD update, more of a software update. I don't know, it might impact FSD a little bit, but it wasn't any kind of dot increase. Now the other day coming home, it did not select the correct lane for the highway on this traffic circle, and it had been doing well, so that was a little regression. Oh good, okay, now we're getting over, so that seems to be better. Maybe it kind of worked itself out. We do have some snow flurries kind of around the area, but nothing seems to be sticking. Now here comes a person here. It does pick this person up. It will stop, and it wants to wait for the person. So I'm going to give it a little encouragement to continue on its way. I'm not sure how long we would have sat there before it sort of realized that the guy was just standing waiting for us to go. So we are currently at 27 degrees. I have 88% on the battery, and we are in hurry mode. We did hurry mode this morning through the kind of the residential downtown area, and the speeds were kind of decent, nothing overly excessive. Sorry, I'm gonna try to get that water off. It is 55 through here, so let's just see if it goes really wild with the speed profile. We are at about 11 over right now, and now we're kind of going back down because we're coming up on this curve. We now dropped down to 87%, so that gives us 281 miles. And again, we have the water coming back up. We do have a Mach-E behind us. When I was first testing out EVs, before I kind of wanted the Tesla, and before Tesla went full self-driving with no hands and touching the steering wheel, I actually looked at a Mach-E. They were actually pretty nice. I liked it. It had a lot of good pickup. Very roomy. But that was one of the ones that I did test drive. So we're now have this Suburban in front of us, so that's probably keeping the speeds a little lower. It is slowing down. We kind of are coming up, well, there's a car on our left here, although it did went over a lane. That's that one there. We are coming up on our exit, so I have a funny feeling that's why it's not going around this vehicle in front. It has plenty of room that it could if it wanted to. I think in hurry mode, not only does it speed a little bit more, but although this example is not a good example, but it will change lanes a little bit faster, kind of makes moves a little bit on the faster side as well. We need a speed profile that says, yes, I want to quickly move through traffic, but I don't want to go over 10 miles on the posted speed limit. Alright, we should be getting over 1, I think. Is it going to take me that way? Okay, yes it will. I never know. There's 2 different options it takes. So that was nice. That was a good lane selection, so that was how it should have done. Okay, we are going this way. Perfect. For the most part, I'm not expecting anything unusual on this particular leg. Maybe, well, let's see. It's, what time is it? I think it's 1:40 or 13:40 if you're military in the afternoon. So I don't think we're going to be hitting any school buses at all or anything to kind of give it a little challenge. So this leg will probably be pretty uneventful. Came to a nice quick stop on that yellow. All right, there we go. This white building over here on the right used to be an EJ factory, shoe making factory back in the day. The carousel we saw back there, EJ said for wherever his factories were, he put a carousel for the families free of charge. As of today, they still are free of charge, and we have, I believe, 6 in our area. We are known for the carousel capital of the world. And to this day, all the carousels in this area are free. It used to be that if you actually rode all 6 of them, you got a little badge or pin or something. I don't know if they still do that anymore. I used to live right across the street from one of them, so every opening day in May, I would go over and ride the carousel on the very first day. I don't really do that anymore because they tend to make me a little seasick going around in a circle like that. But they've restored a lot of them, if not all of them in the area, and they're absolutely gorgeous. They've kind of enclosed them. They send them off, and all the horses or whatever animal it might be, the benches, have all been restored, and they're in protective housing. The only thing I don't know, there was one at Ross Park Zoo that I don't know if that one's come back. They sent it out, and it seems like it's been a couple years, maybe 3 years, so I'm not really sure if it's back in operation yet or even put back together. It did very well navigating around that Pepsi truck. We will be taking a ride at this light. Obviously we can't get down because the cars have aligned themselves, but that's okay. And with the snow kind of encroaching onto the road, it makes it hard. In the summertime, usually you can go right by the curb. So yep, so we are known for the birthplace of IBM. That was in Endicott. That's no longer there. They completely destroyed and tore down that Holland tire building last summer. EJ Shoe Factory we are known for. Rod Sterling is in this area. He's from here. Carousel capital of the world. We're known for our speedies, which if anybody tries to do speedies outside of the Binghamton area, they usually fail because people just, I guess, don't understand what they are. So it's like, that's just, people have tried from this area to kind of get it going, and it just never succeeds past the Binghamton border. So we do have a lot of claim to fame in this area. People don't realize it. So it's kind of nice to sort of repeat the history and give this place a little bit credit that it does deserve. Of course, we've got Binghamton University. That place has grown from when I first moved here. I guess it's now considered one of the Ivy Leagues of the state of New York State school system. They're kind of coming into their own and expanding pretty much every year. They're buying buildings and housing and stuff in the whole entire area, and they're probably the #1 employer in this area now. Used to be IBM, but obviously that's no longer. And then of course we got the hospitals. Those are probably maybe the second biggest employer. All right, if the navigation is correct, this should pull right into the driveway. Which apparently it's not. Look at that. Isn't that the funniest thing? I don't know what kicks driveway navigation out and what makes it go. I have yet to figure that out, and I don't know why it does it. That's very irritating. So I might have to go and repin it again. So let's see. This thing is long, and it's not a very long driveway, so we usually park about right there. Okay, thank you for following along. I have a 5 o'clock client, so I will film that when I get going, and then film the way home. All right, take care.